the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up!
Well, welcome to another edition of This is CorbinCenter, and this one's special to me, but I'll get there in a second. This week, the Corbinite recognition has to go out to somebody that I've known for a very long time, and actually one of my best friends. It is my buddy, also same name, Darin. I wanted to give you the shout out because we've kind of reconnected over watching wrestling. He was my roommate for a long time, but we go way back. So I just always want to say that we're really close friends, and he's my shout out man. So we've been talking wrestling a lot. I've really enjoyed wrestling and had a blast with wrestling. So I feel like getting to watch it and like we go back and forth. This is really good for both of us. And so I just want to throw that out there. You're my recognition of this time for being such an awesome friend and roommate, former roommate. Anyway, speaking of wrestling, where do we even start on all this? I mean, it was Wrestlemania, and there was so many events going on for Wrestlemania weekend. I saw so much from WWE to, again, Ring of Honor's back. You had all the shows that were running around with GCW, The Collective, everything. I mean, all these huge dream matchups, big matchups. And of course, just like anything, you're going to find people who will find things to complain about because they just never will be happy. But also you'll have people that might watch this and go, don't deny that I could be angry about Cody losing to Roman, or this guy didn't win, or whatever was going on, or wrestling's weird because I saw a bunch of bare ass spots at certain shows at DDT. Well, you know what? I'll tell you what. I personally would refresh and I would see everything coming up. I just wanted to stay in. Now, again, people might ask me, Darin, why were you not taking a part in Mania Week? And whoever's watching this can think whatever they want, but let me tell you this. I've only had plans to do one Mania Week, like fully immerse myself. And that was going to line up with my honeymoon originally. And that was when the pandemic hit. And I think that was the world telling me a reason that it might not be in my best interest to be a part of it. It was saying that you finally figured out all the pieces and we're going to just turn that puzzle completely upside down like a frustrated child. That's just like, no, not today. And, I went down last year to Dallas, but the only thing I did, and by the way, big shout out to Wrestling with Regret, who I really enjoy, Brian Zane. Brian Zane has actually only been my only WrestleMania weekend booking I've ever had, and it wasn't even for a match. It was for a fun little watch along. I enjoyed it, so that was a big thing. But I had a blast doing that. That was great. And I only saw like 3 people I knew. I went there, did the thing, went back, left, easy, super fun. And while everyone else is running all over town, and it's the stress, and then it's LA. And man, I don't know how, like, for those of you who did this, I saw, like, Speedball, you were wrestling, like, 3 huge matches and getting from place to place to place. I don't know how you, because, like, this, about a week and a half ago, I had to make connecting flights and get my bag and get my rental car. And man, was I stressed to hell about all that stuff. And I couldn't imagine trying to be in LA and trying to make this work. But if you went and you got to be a part of it and went to multiple shows and got to be on multiple shows, and that's great. That is awesome. But I want you to know that I had one hell of a relaxing weekend, all things considered. But when I think wrestling and I think important things coming up, all I can think about is that my 19-year Wrestle-Vesary, April 11th, has a very special day for me as far as my first match. There's a lot of things that take place on that event, on that day. But it was Easter Sunday back in 2004. 19-year-old Darin Corbin had his first match. And I think back to every year to this day, and I was actually looking because I tried to answer one of these trivia questions on Snapchat. I tried to do that, and one of the things was I tried to see when I actually wrestled on my anniversary, and I believe the last time I did it was my 6th anniversary. I haven't wrestled on my anniversary since. Now, I'm probably not going to wrestle on this one either. But I'm going to celebrate 19 years, and then the big one, 20, comes up. My God, 2 decades. And it's still wild to me that I've been wrestling longer than most of the new kids coming in are years old. And I don't know what that says about me. And a lot of people are like, how long are you going to keep going? You just had a broken clavicle. Are you still able to maintain the level that you need to be at? And here's what I tell everybody. Stop trying to write me off. Like, stop trying to find reasons to get rid of me. Like, this has been when I was 10 years in, like, how much longer are you going to keep doing this? You turned 30. How long are you going to keep doing this? How long are you going to keep going? You moved, you did this. You took a life change. You got married, you got divorced. How long are you going to do this for? I don't know. Let me just have fun with it. If I decide I want to get to the level of Terry Funk, I'm going to do it. I'm going to keep wrestling. There are guys that wrestle into their 50s and their 60s. Is that going to be me? I don't know. Am I saying it's going to be me? Am I going to say it's a goal? God, no. At this point in my life, I'm kind of like, how could I even fathom that? Like, what would life be like if I was 50 years old and still wrestling? Where some guys are like, I'm going to keep wrestling, keep doing it. And they're taking crazy moves off ladders and stuff. And I think I wrestle a pretty tame style. I think I'm having a blast doing a lot of the stuff that I'm doing. But I think back here, let me tell you this right now. I had two goals when I started. I said that I was going to do this as long as my body could hold up, and I never, ever wanted to forget how much I loved being a wrestler, and until basically I want to do it as long as it's fun. I want to always have it be fun. I never want to regret doing what I do. And I can honestly tell you that I do not regret at all anything I've done. I have not regret the path that I've chosen. I have had a blast, and I've got to see the world and go to places that wrestling has brought me and I enjoy. And I'm still not done doing that. And I'm still not done getting to do these experiences. And the people I've met, a lot of you have been great. Some of you not so much. A lot of you have been great. I'm going to give you that. And speaking of people that I've never met, that leads me to this episode of Mail Time. Now, I know that there are a couple Corbins in wrestling, and maybe this was a mistake, but I think this is a very fun episode. And was this intended for me? Well, we'll find out. Well, I know it's been a while and I haven't really checked my P.O. box, but I did get something in the mail, and it is all the way from Maine. Do I have fans in Maine? Do I? Who even knows? But what do we got here? I have been a wrestling fan for over 20 years now. I have many fond memories as a kid going to live events and watching matches with my father on weekends. Over the past couple years, I've introduced my daughter to the sport. We have been to several local wrestling events, and she's absolutely fallen in love with it. It's great to see a new generation of fans take to the sport. I agree. I started young. I loved it all the time. If you had time, we were wondering if you could give us an autograph to add to her collection. We are both huge fans of yours and appreciate all you've done for the sport. Thank you in advance. This is from Chris and Peyton. Now, I have no problem doing this. Absolutely no problem. You've provided a return, and that's great. But I can't... do you think that I'm my brother? Because I'm still going to sign it. It's a cool card. I can absolutely sign it. But this might be one of the better things I've gotten in my P.O. box. So, Chris and Peyton, I don't know if you're going to be happy or extremely disappointed. But when you're dealing with a Corbin, I guess this is what you get. Look, I'm a good sport. I'm going to sign it anyway. I mean, look at me. Don't ever say that Darin Corbin is a complete prick, is a jerk, because look at me. Look at what I'm doing. I'm hoping I'm making people happy on this one. I sent a card that said Happy Corbin, so that's all good. But also, there was some big news that came out of here, and I want to make sure that we got some time. I informed my consultant on it, and we are bringing back this segment of Let's Get Dirty. So, Let's throw it to him as he talks about the big merger that happened in pro wrestling.
My sources tell me that the UFC has bought Vince McMahon's WWE. This guy came back in with his mustache and was like, I'm a sneaky, sneaky villain, and here I come. I'm going to take WWE back. And then as soon as I get it back, we do the old cut and trade, and then I give it to somebody, so it's like when in basketball, they sign somebody, and they're like, yo, here you come over. We got what we want. Buy you out, send you packing. And that just means that now it goes to UFC. So what's going to happen? Are they going to change the ring? Is it going to be like an octagon? They already do cages. Are we going to see like a weird Punjabi prison style where it's like a UFC cage inside a cage? What does this mean for Roman Reigns? Does he finally get that dream match with Conor McGregor that nobody wants to see? I don't know. But let's talk about this. Vince McMahon with a mustache. People, making mustache people look bad like myself. I have a mustache. You grew a mustache. And now you're stealing companies. And everyone was so mad after Mania because they were like, what? He sold the company and he ruined the show. And, that's a huge thing. I mean, remember when he injected the NWO into WWE and he was like, Hogan's gonna kill this thing. He's gonna kill my own creation. And now he grows a mustache just like Hogan. And he's like, I'm gonna kill my own creation. Here it goes, and I'm gonna have you in Devon. And remember, for so many years, he was like, your future in Devon. Good luck on it. Vince McMahon just did hush money endeavors, and here it goes. And I just can't believe what the next round of UFC is gonna look like. It's gonna be weird because who's gonna enforce the rules? I don't even know what's going on anymore, but I'll keep you posted.
It's been a week. It has been wild, and there is more to come up. And very soon, very, very soon, I will have a lot more to talk about because I'm going to be discussing some shows. I got a bunch coming up. My upcoming schedule, as you know, Destination Pro against MDS. You'll see me at Pro Wrestling Battleground against Matt Honey. Again, they go to Second Wrestling. Back to First Wrestling at the high school, which is interesting. And then I'm back at AWF as well. And plus, when May rolls around, it is my birthday month. So it is going to be busy, 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 busy. So I can't wait to talk all about it. And join me again for another episode of Corbin Center.